Hi, and welcome back to Moy's Woodshop. Well, a couple months back, I made a secret compartment shelf for the 2x4 contest, and I've had a lot of comments on it and people wanting to make their own. So I thought I'd make it again, and this time give a little bit of instruction. All the hardware can be found at Home Depot. I found the magnets and the magnetic locks, the hinges, everything at Home Depot. I'm just scuffing up the surface so I can spray paint them black. Then I start off by rough cutting the pieces. Using my tapering jig, I just gave myself a straight edge. Then I cut everything to final dimensions. I'm cutting one strip at 1 3/4 of an inch. And the second strip is 2 1/8. This is optional, but I thought it'd look nice if I put a profile on the face of the trim. I just installed a 1/4 inch core box bit. All the measurements are long point to long point. A couple of clamps is plenty to hold everything together. I just cut down the crown molding in half, just easier to handle that way. Then you take it down to final size. And again, all the measurements on the crown molding are long point to long point. A little bit or a lot of bit of painter's tape will really help you out in this process. I thought I could get away with just using a couple of clamps, but I had to use a couple of brad nails just to get everything lined up. These are a couple of 1 5/8" screws, just regular wood screws. Just making sure that everything lines up and there's nothing is touching each other. The bottom shelf shouldn't be touching the support. Making sure I'm not going to go through the top of the shelf. These dowel centers really come in handy in this process. I've already laid out where it's going to go. I'm
double check it again, make sure I'm not gonna go through that nice ambrosia maple. I'm gonna dry fit everything. This is a perfect time to sand everything down. And then you could glue and join the support bracket to the top of the shelf. A couple of clamps is plenty to hold it in place. At first I gave it a couple of coats of red mahogany and I just wasn't liking the way it was looking, so I went and sanded it down again and gave it another coat of espresso. That made a big difference. This is just armor seal. I used 3 coats. Just a little 1/2 inch spacer and just get the hinges lined up. At this point, I'm only going to put 2 screws in just to get everything lined up and make sure it's the holes, the oblong holes, or oval, whatever you want to call it. That way it gives a little bit more play to get everything lined up. Gotta check for clearance. I have to move it over a little bit. I'm marking the hinges because I'm going to remove the top. I'm going to take those 2 screws out, remove the top, and that way I could drill my through hole with an 1/8 inch bit. This is where it's going to anchor to the wall, so you only need one on the right side and one on the left side. That's plenty to hold it together. That way you don't have to make additional holes. You can do that if you want, but they're perfectly 16 inches spaced apart, so you should be able to hit, your studs. There's really no easy way to mount these locks. I just used a little bit of double-sided tape and a bunch of trial and error. The double-sided tape helps because that way you don't have to make a bunch of holes. Just get it roughly where you think you need it. Check it. Once you're pretty close to where you need it, you still got a little bit of wiggle room, so install the screws and then you still have some adjustments to make. This is a high density polyurethane foam, but from what I understand there's a Fast Cap has Kaizen foam, and I heard that works just as good. A lot cheaper too. Just cutting out recesses for the hinges and the locks. Make sure everything fits good. I made a bandsaw box earlier and I'm just gonna use that as the lock. You could use a magnet that it came with, it's the key, but I decided to make my own key. I want to finish everything off with flocking. Well, here's the finished shelf. To open it, you could use the key that came with the magnetic locks. You just place it under there, get the locks open. Or you could do what I did. Drill a hole in whatever it is you want your key to be, place the magnet inside, and that becomes your key. You just place it on there, you hear the click, then you know it disengaged. And then you can open the shelf. This is a high density polyurethane foam. You can use other types of rigid foams out there. To mount it, all it is where we drilled the through holes, that's 16 inches apart, so you could screw it directly to your studs right through the back support. When you're all done, just close it up. You place that back inside, and you're done. I want to thank everybody for watching. If you're still having questions on how to build this, head over to instructables.com, where I wrote a detailed instructable on how to build this. Check all the links below for the hardware and the instructable. Have a good day, and we'll see you on the next one, guys.